What is up, PodHeads? Back with another episode of the Podioslave podcast. My name is Tony, joined, as always, by Anthony.
What's going on? You said heads. It's plural tonight, baby.
And Nate.
Cha. What's up?
What's
Cha.
up? We're back together. It's been a little bit, but the three of us, the three-headed monster is back to do a little nerding out tonight on your questions. The listener. We sourced out our episode tonight to you guys to give us some questions, some mailbag. We haven't done a mailbag in about a year, so it's time.
Seems much sooner than that.
It does, yeah.
Has it really been a year?
It's funny. We were supposed to record a couple nights ago. We ended up not doing it because some stuff came up. But the day that we were supposed to do it, we had released a mailbag episode like a year prior.
Damn. Crazy. That's insane.
That is insane.
You're right.
You know, the cool perspective I have is the vocalist that goes in and out of the band. So like yeah. I've been able to like kind of like watch the band like without me. I'm like, oh dude, I got questions too. I like this mailbag stuff, you know.
The mailbag is fun because we didn't have to do a whole lot of prep. We outsourced it to you guys, and we're super thankful that we get questions from people. We get 10, 11 questions here, and one or two things to throw at each other too. I'm sure if we get ripping through them quick, but yeah, we're gonna answer some questions from the fans, the podheads out there that have so graciously given us these fun nerdery tidbits that I don't think we've done before.
We haven't, and you know, before all that, I'm giving a shout out. You guys ready for this?
Yep.
A gentleman by the name of Cooper Flagg, Maine native, number 1 pick, NBA draft, Dallas Mavericks. We don't talk sports, but we are sports heads. At least Tony and I are.
Yeah. And we talk it a little bit. I'm wearing a Celtics hat.
There you go. We weave it in. But that's as you know, some Maine alums ourselves here. That's big doings.
Well, the fact that the number 1 pick in the NBA draft is a kid from Maine is amazing. The other thing that's kind of crazy, Mackenzie Holmes is playing in the WNBA. So she's playing, I think, for Connecticut. So we have 2 Maine natives playing in the biggest basketball leagues in the world. That's pretty cool stuff. I mean, Maine stays on top. Sorry, guys.
I mean, we get some music artists out there in the world. Amy Allen, Shadow Her, Spose, Rustic, Sparks, you know, you name it. But this is top of the heap. Howie Day, half of the Chainsmokers. What?
Yeah, right.
Ray, obviously Ray's massive. He's from Lewiston.
Yeah, Ray LaMontagne. Yeah, we've had a pretty good run of musicians come from our state too. So don't forget about us up here in the Northeast, but also forget about us. We don't need y'all here in the summertime. Go away.
Stay away. Are we jumping right into this mailbag?
Yeah, how do we want to do this? Like I throw it in the wheel and have the wheel ask us, but I think we just got them written out. Let's just do them.
Okay, cool. I missed the spin the wheel, but I'm with you.
I know, but I don't want to set the wheel up now.
It's always there on deck, and we're due to have it back. Are we?
It's been a while since the wheels happened.
It's probably been a year. You know, you dial it back.
Probably, right?
No one asked for it in the mailbag, so we're not going to go that direction.
Yeah, good point. I'll just lead us off. Our good friends in Trawl, who you just heard the intro music, they gave us a couple of questions here, which is always fun. But from Seth, the bassist extraordinaire of the band Trawl, what's a record you were late to the party on that actually slaps?
Actually slaps. I got one on deck, ready to go. Let me throw it at you. So it's a record that just turned 10. Huge fan of the band, but never peeped this album. It's Citizens.
I know what you're going to say. Yep, I was going to say the same thing.
Everybody is Going to Heaven.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Huge fan of Youth, obviously. As You Please was great. Young States EP was great. And they released a couple, recently that have been pretty solid. But that record, it just escaped me. It's one of those like secret records. Like imagine if you found out there was a hidden Rage record between like Evil Empire and Battle, and you never listened to it, and that kind of was your thing. Like I intentionally never listened to it, but I went back because I think they repressed it or something. 10 years. It's fucking awesome. So yeah, here's my late pass.
I listened to it this week too, and it's awesome. I hadn't listened to that one. I'd listened to Youth and As You Please and Young States and stuff too, and even some of the newer stuff that I'm warming up to. Yep. But this record is awesome. You're right, and they're doing some 10-year stuff for it this year. So that's probably why it got pushed to us, because they knew we were fans, and we've posted about and listened to Citizen for years, but hadn't peeped that record. And I'm glad I'm right there with you. It's not mine. I'll pick a different one, but it's a great record.
You could have it. You can have it too. Double down.
Samesies.
I got one, Nate. Unless you got one.
I got one, and it's in the vein of what Twan said, which is I was a fan, massive. Well, again, late to the party actually, but Nine Inch Nails Year Zero for some reason just flew by me. I don't know if I had like checked out in that exact moment, But I was massive before then, so I don't know why I think there was very minimal promotion on that record. But revisiting it, I'm like, this record's in the top 3. It's really dark and very almost fragile-esque, where there's a lot of heavy subject matter. Not that any of his records don't. For whatever reason, I think I like moved on, almost like the new metal thing, where we were in it thick, and then by 2003 we were like, all right, well, there's this pop punk thing going on, so I'll do that instead.
So it's funny you say that, because in my prep for this, I threw a question, I wrote it down just to like, maybe we needed one, and it was about year 0. So Nerdvoyance is ridiculously real.
You guys planned this shit.
No way.
You did.
It's really, man, it's crazy that you said that. I was like, you gotta be shitting me. Because I have a question that I was gonna throw at you guys that was year 0 related. But that record, I love that record. I listened to it at the moment. Have you listened to year 0 remix, Nate? Listen to that too, because that's awesome.
No, I haven't. No. Interesting. Wow.
All right. So for me, and it's because of this podcast and getting to know the band more. I listened to them some early on because Twan, you told me to, but I didn't live it like you did in the moment. But Troubled Stateside, Crime and Stereo, that record is so good. It doesn't miss front to back.
Untouchable.
And it took me a while to didn't take me a while, but I just didn't know in the moment. I wasn't living it like you were, going to see them all the time. So for me now, having seen them and listened to it, and we talked to Alex, like, I love that record. It's so good.
I'm telling you, if you have not listened to this record, a broken record, go listen to it in headphones and get the lyric sheet out. Go on whatever site with the lyrics.
Genius. Go to Genius.
Genius. You knew exactly what I was talking about. Go on Genius. I'm sure they're on there, and just dissect those lyrics. It's like Alex wrote them this year.
Right.
And he was in his early 20s. Amazing shit.
I like that recommendation style because headphones is key. We've talked about that multiple times. It's a different experience viscerally, but to read the lyrics too. I've been doing that a lot on Spotify, where like not all records, not all songs have it, but if it does, that's been my more recent nerd deep dive, is like actually having the lyrics go up almost like karaoke. I'm like, oh, I have singing that wrong for 20 years. Interesting. I wish that feature was on every song, but the fact that you made that kind of a direction for this record in particular shows that it's a little bit deeper than surface level, which is cool.
Headphones, dark room, climate controlled, get in the zone.
Climate controlled. Oh man, I love climate controlled. It's 1,000 degrees in this room right now.
I'm in the basement and I'm sweating right now.
Sweating buckets right now. Speaking of buckets earlier, sweating buckets.
All right, I'm hitting you with number 2.
Yeah, let's go.
And this is a good one. This is from our friend Mike in Texas. Mike, I did not think you were capable of such a great question. Name a band or artist that's inactive, but if reactivated, they could sell out every NFL stadium.
Can I take Rage off the table? That's too easy.
Yep. I mean,
you can, but I don't even think they're at that tier.
Really?
Because let's baseline this. NFL stadium means 70,000 people.
Yeah.
It's true.
70 in every NFL stadium. I had one band under the right circumstance, but I'll have you guys go first.
I don't have one. I mean, Rage would have been my, like, they could sell at the basketball arenas, right? 18K, 20K. They've done that. Yeah. I'm not sure I could think of one. It would need to be like, I mean, I guess it's Oasis, but it's happening. So it doesn't really count. You know what I mean? Right? Like,
here's the funny thing. I would have said no to that. I would have said, no way.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're it either. You're right. I'm not sure they're it either. So I'm not even sure I have one. I'm not sure I could come up with one.
Well, it's funny. Like, Rage is off the table in one of the parentheses for one of these questions. But for this, it's funny because Rage may be at that level given like the hype and state of the world, and Oasis is doing it, like we said. And Oasis, no offense, from last time I saw them, they were really bad live. So it's got to carry some weight to actually do.
They're coming after us.
Yeah, I know. We're not getting Liam. Maybe we will. It's one of those contradictory things where even if they were at that status, it would harm their brand. Like, are you playing Gillette Stadium, huh? Okay. Fucking $90 for the shittiest.
They just
90, stopped 200.
Then they just stopped being a band, right? So like, if 10 years from now they did it, I think they can do it. But right now, I think it's probably too new.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote Oasis as almost like a joke, like they're doing it. That was overhyped, and I think and we can get into this at a different time, but I think the Oasis thing was planned to be like this for a reason. Let's like see how far we can get this stock and then hit it, because you guys are brothers. Like, come on, dude, you get really that angry at each other. You're like, okay, like Chevelle will get back to you. No, Chevelle, the money's not there. Again, don't want to shut it down. But I put kind of the obvious stuff. Pink Floyd with Who's Left. There's a lot of beef with Roger Waters and David Gilmour, so I think they kicked him out of all the rights collectively, and then David Gilmour and Nick Mason, who are the only original members left, because Richard Wright died, sold the catalog, I think, last year. Yeah. And it was almost in spite of Roger Waters. So there was like offers coming in like, hey, like you guys should just do one last thing. And they were like, no, fuck that. And we're going to sell the rest of the music. So that was probably the only one. And I wrote a third hypothetical, which would be reforming as the Beatles with just Paul McCartney and Ringo just saying, all right, let's just do it. You know?
Yeah, that's a good call. I like that's outside of the box. Like if Robert Plant just fronted Zeppelin.
Well, that's where I went, was Zeppelin.
Yeah, Robert Plant and Jimmy Page back together.
Yeah, well, because John Paul Jones.
Yeah, John Paul Jones, right?
And that's what I figured is it would have to be positioned as the last hurrah, right? And you'd have to announce it now because they're not getting any younger. Announce it for next year. Stadium tour, last hurrah. I read that they did, the last time they played was 2007, and apparently there were 20 million ticket requests for 20,000 seats.
Was that at O2 in London or in the UK? I think, yeah.
It was in the UK. It was in 07. And when did Bonham die? Was he around for that, or I'm not sure, but
his son played.
I think his son played, Jason. Yeah,
his son played it. Okay, so it was 3 OGs, and that's why, like, I think, yeah, Floyd is in the mix, Beatles, but I think you need more than half the OGs for people to really get behind it. I would think.
I like that. That's probably where I would land. Is that one? I like that one. Thanks, guys. I couldn't come up with anything. I'm brain farting everywhere.
Outsourcing the questions and the answers.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
Well, let's go even one layer thicker. I
thought we were keeping it moving, Nate.
I know, but I just got a light bulb thing. It's like not only that, but who's actually going to pay those prices? It's that crowd that's going to pay for Pink Floyd and Beatles. Like, I'll pay $4,000 for a ticket. It is the last tour. That would never happen with like what we're getting that for our kind of age demographic is like the Panteras of the world. Like 2 original members, they're together, cool. They're going to play Sheds. Maybe I'll go. I'm not going to go, but that's our kind of era. It's not going to be a stadium, but they did go from like Phil Anselmo's playing like bars to like Sheds just because it's Pantera. It's insanity.
Yeah, but good point.
Anyways.
Good point. All right. Number 3. We ready for number 3?
Sure.
All right. This one comes from our friends at The Itch. I think they sent us a couple too. So the first of the Itch trio here, and there's 3 of them, so that makes sense. Someone sends you a cease and desist letter claiming the rights to the name Podioslave. What do you rename the show? And can we still be called PodHeads? I like that one.
The second, of course you can. You can still be called PodHeads from now until eternity. So whatever the new show is called, PodHeads it is. Nate, what do you got?
I just went with our kind of doing business as, which would be nerdery.
Yeah.
Nerdery doing business as Podioslave. So we just
Nerdery Productions. Yeah.
We just resort to nerdery. Yeah.
How about you, Tom?
I honestly, if someone sent us a cease and desist letter saying that they own the name Podioslave, I would be like, what the fuck are you thinking, bro? Because we have a love-hate relationship with it now because, yeah, it's cool if you understand the origin of it, but at the same time, it's a little dumb, and like, we're beholden to it because we're 5 years in. So I'd email them back and just be like, no, we came up with this idiocy first. Go away. That's the first thing I would do. As far as name goes, I've thought about this a little bit. I don't know that I could come up with anything crazy. I know, Twan, you and I talked about, you had a Rage Against the Machine one that would have something in that I'd pull a lyric from a band like Deftones, like Rage Against the Machine, a band that the 3 of us collectively ride for heavy, and put a play on words with that somehow. I'd have to look through everything, but that's how I would do it.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, the one I was thinking of, and it wouldn't open any new doors because of the phrase, but the All Hell podcast. All Hell Can't Stop Us Now from Guerrilla Radio. All Hell. The All Hell podcast. Don't take that if you're listening. The other one is the Rock and Roll Takeover podcast, which is Every Time I Die from the Bolorama from the Hot Damn album. This is the Rock and Roll Takeover, living each day one night at a time, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, knowing you for as long as I have, you've liked that for quite a while.
I love it. The band was so fucking ridiculous in the era at which it's awesome. But they did have a t-shirt. I think it was This is a Rock and Roll Takeover, and it had a tank on it. And I never owned it, but I wanted it. So if you're listening and you have it, send it our way.
That's sick. Could we just be This is a Takeover?
That may or may not have been my AIM screen name.
I wasn't gonna out you there, but yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Maybe down the line, if We
I
decided
did
to
own the
redo it.
domain at one point too. This is takeover.com.
Nice.
I might sell it on GoDaddy.
Oh, there you go. MBAassociation.com or whatever. We've brought that up before. That's if you know, you know. I'll leave it alone. All right, number 4. You want to read it to him?
Yes. What inactive band do you want one more album from? In parentheses, you can't say Rage. And this is from The Itch. Number 2 from The Itch. Here's the irony.
Do they have to be alive?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, all right.
I don't want another album from Rage. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
So Itch, joke's on you guys. I don't want it. I don't want it.
I think I do though.
Not in 2025. No, leave it alone. Just my opinion.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. I think they would have a lot to say about the world that we're living in, but I mean, they did say a lot of the same things 20 years ago, 25 years ago, so the world hasn't gotten any better in some of those instances, so we'd be in a similar world with that, unfortunately. I think as far as band that's inactive, it would be cool to get like another Nirvana record with all 3 principles, right? Especially with all what that has happened in the last 25 years, 30 years since Kurt died. I'd be down for that, even though I've never been a gigantic Nirvana fan. I think I'd want to hear what it would sound like for today, because I think they would have a lot to say about the way the world is today, too. So I lean towards that, getting a new all 3 Nirvana record, or 4, depending on how you look at it.
That's a good bet, because it's funny. Like, there's artists like that. I put Tupac in that category, Biggie in that category. It's the what if game, and we've talked about it a lot. But just what if? How would they have adapted? Would they still be as relevant as they are, after the tragedy? Who knows? But I'm here for that. I'm definitely in for that.
And we did a whole episode on this, right? I think I had Outkast. Outkast was a big one. I'd love to get another record from those guys. Like it's back in the catalog somewhere, but we did one like this.
It's funny you said that, because I was like trying to rewind. Like, did I already say these things? I've done that before. I guess it's part of being senile. But either way, I put 2 because of that kind of preface. Like Powderfinger. I don't know if you guys know this band from Australia. Amazing band. By the time I got into them, they had already broken up. But they kind of remind me of like an Australian version of like a Third Eye Blind, just like catchy pop, really, really strong lyrics, and kind of sing along songs, but not too poppy. So it's kind of like has that grit to it. I'd like to see another album from them. Australia bands, like when they break up, it's kind of done. I think, actually, speaking of which, I think it was Silverchair that I had mentioned maybe in the actual episode, another Australian band.
Right on. Yeah.
And then as a backup / secondary, I really liked that Team Sleep record. And I remember getting the rough cut from that album back in maybe or maybe not the Napster days, and getting some promotional, allegedly, and getting some like promotional stuff from Reprise Records that got scrapped. So it was like the original artwork stuff that's in my bins of nerdery. But by the time the record dropped, I think it was already leaked, and the record had been like remastered or reworked, so it didn't sound like the original version. Actually, it's one of those things where I like the original version better. But that chemistry in that band, Chino's first true side project, I think there was a lot going on there, and I think it was in that era of Deftones where, had it been promoted differently and he was completely just saying I'm out of the Deftones, like that would have been his new thing for sure. I think he was ready to just say fuck it.
That would have been cool too.
And it's great music. Yeah,
I'm with you. That's a good one. Because
we never saw anything after that. Crazy.
Yeah,
it was just one album, right?
Yeah, just the one. And what was it? 2005,
4,
6, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was supposed to drop in like 2002, and it just got shelved. And obviously, there's probably, I always wonder about that stuff. Like, hey, you're gonna do a side project. Like, we have touring commitments, and you're just gonna bail. And there's probably like, fuck, you're right. All right, let's do those commitments, and I'll go back to it. And then it's like, by that time, there's momentum. It's like, all right, I guess I'm not gonna do it. And the record company's like, well, we have this fucking record, you douchebag. It's like, all right, put it out, and then we'll do like one tour.
Yeah. And I can go back to being in Deftones because that band's massive. And I mean, it worked out for Chino and Deftones. So
yeah, you can't shut that shit down.
All right, I'll throw mine in here. This is it's actually the same one that I said back in our episode when we talked about this. Give us one more album. It's Title Fight. Shed was great. Floral Green was great. Hyperview was a departure for them. And there's been no new music and no new shows. And they've just stuck to their guns. And they could be raking in the coin, but they're not, and they haven't been. And I kind of love that. I don't think we'll ever get one, but I would love one more album, because who knows? It could be dream pop. It could be back to the roots. You never know. And I'm here for it. I can picture it now. It's back on Run for Cover, or it's on Side One Dummy again. Who knows? But I'm in.
That's a great pick. And it's amazing the legacy that band has left, right? Like, there are so many bands right now that sound like Title Fight. That want to do
lots and lots of them.
Yeah, to want to live in that world. And I love a lot of those bands. So would love to get something from the OGs from that side. I mean, you know, OG to an extent. Everybody rips everybody, but yeah, there's a lot that grew up listening to Title Fight that makes music today that you can tell.
And who knows, if they were still around, maybe those bands wouldn't exist. You know, don't bite a current band. You know, Title Fight, you can save us. You can. No, I'm just kidding. There's been a lot of good Title Fight reps.
Oh yeah, and they're good too. There's a lot of really good Title Fight reps. We've had some of them on. So.
Yep. All right, keep it moving.
Keep it moving. Number 5, last one from the itch.
If the three of us were in a band, who's playing what, and who's the first to drop a solo record? I can't sing. I can't play guitar. So it's either drum or bass.
Yeah,
drum or bass.
Well, you were in a band and you were a bassist, so for a hot minute.
Exactly.
There you go. Easy one. Nate, what would you'd be drummer, right? I
put like samples, like shy guy in the back. Yeah, I'm just here.
Nate, you're a front man. I'm sorry. You already said you were the vocalist at the beginning.
Yeah, that's just from the craziness in life. But
you look the part, Nate. You look the part. You got to be the vocalist. You're better looking than me and Anthony, so yeah. I would be a drummer would be where I would like to live, I think.
There you go. You're it.
Yeah,
you're
and
it.
then
you got a kid?
I don't. I think that ship has sailed too. But I always used to, as a kid, I used to drum on everything. So I think I would have liked it had someone put me in front of one, but it just never happened. So probably my parents being like, nah, it'd be too loud in here. And then the solo record. Who is the first to drop a solo record?
Nate. It's Nate.
Yeah,
what?
Nate.
But I don't think he would. I don't think he would.
Think so.
I think he'd disappear from the game. I'm not sure either of us would either, Twan. Like, I'm not sure I would. I don't think you would either.
I think
just
it would be
a bass Victor Wooten thing or something. Just a bass thing.
I think it'd be like a tapeworm thing, like Maynard Reznor thing, where it just is that real? Like, I think that was just something that he was talking about. I don't think that really ever happened. But I actually put Anthony, and I put instrumental shoegaze record. You just like boom, no lyrics, just some deep ass shit.
Vibes guy, I love it.
Yeah, vibes. Head in the ceiling vibes. Head in the ceiling fan. No, I like that. I'd record it on GarageBand. Let's go. I got the mic set up. So yeah, Tony drums, me bass, Nate front person, no guitar. Let's go. Thanks, Itch. That's a good question.
That'd be a weird. We'd have to find somebody to play guitar for us.
Instead of drum machine, we have a guitar machine. Like, just AI spit us a riff.
We have a guitar machine.
Hybrid between Steph Tones and John Frusciante, and we're good.
That'd be actually, yeah. And
yeah, I want the sugar riffs. Let's go.
Sprinkle in a little West Gear and Chad Bonecos. Why not?
Oh, yeah. Shout out to those homies.
All right, number 6 from Mike. Has Taylor Swift become the most popular artist of all time? It's tough, right? Like,
she's in the conversation.
Absolutely.
In the combo.
Top 5, top 3, maybe even.
Yeah. It's her, Beatles, Michael Jackson,
Madonna.
And then.
But like then you're talking about like Madonna's Lady Gaga, and then neither of them are that big, right? Like it's her, it's Michael Jackson, it's the Beatles. I'm not sure that there's anybody else.
Right? That's where I landed.
Fuck. Yeah, my notes were no. This is a subjective question that needs more clarification.
Yeah, come on, Mike, try harder.
Is this a multiple choice?
Yeah, is this based on record sales? Is this based on Spotify spins? It's based on, I
would say yes, because we live in the most fractured time as far as entertainment goes. Like, you could be doing a million different things, right? It wasn't the monoculture that was when the Beatles showed up. It
True.
Wasn't even the monoculture when Michael Jackson showed up, and there was more to do in that time frame. But she lives in a world where you could listen to, I don't know how many different subgenres. You could be watching any television show, any movie. You could be out doing things, And she has gripped the culture to a level that is as big as those other bands or artists in a tougher time, I think. So my answer is yes.
Yeah. No, and that's a great point, because attention is currency and it's expensive. The one thing, though, that she doesn't have the luxury of, and it's not her fault, it's just because it's time, is time. Maybe in 20 years, she won't be looked at it. Beatles they're still on top of it. Michael Jackson, even with all the controversy, there's a core that still rides. With her, I think that will be there, but time will tell. You know,
will it hit different generations? Like that's what the
Mm.
Beatles did. That's what even
Yeah.
Michael Jackson did, right? Like Michael Jackson, we were little when Michael Jackson was huge, and we all know it.
God,
100%.
I didn't even think about why the formula, who is Taylor Swift, is like a perfect marketing scheme, because it's like she's young, call it like DiCaprio in like the 90s. Like this guy's got so much runway because he's a great actor, nails the parts. We can get this guy from now to, we're in 2025, he's still executing 10 out of 10. So Taylor Swift is like started extremely young, so they just know she can at least ride it out. And she's just one person. You don't have to worry about band members and bullshit and breakups and all this stuff. It's just her. So as long as she stays true to her brand, which is her name, so that's what's selling the tickets, kind of got nothing to lose on a marketing standpoint. It's just like make sure she's sober and doesn't break a leg, and we're good
And
to go.
shows up to where she's supposed to, right?
And Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
Well, and she would have, if it wasn't her, it would have been somebody else, I think, in the way that the world works today. So
Totally.
that kind of negs my argument a little bit, but at the same time, she's fucking huge. So it's hard.
Yeah. It's basically, who's next after that? Adele, but Adele doesn't want to do it. She's opted out like 3 times. So.
And she's not as big, I don't think. Or ever, I don't think she ever got to the height that Taylor's gotten.
No.
So
Yeah.
good one. That's a good one.
Next one. Artist or album you had someone hype you up on and it fell short of expectations. This comes from Sean from Trawl. And then there is a follow-up, which is, do you guys feel that someone overhyping an album, band, or song, in some cases, makes you less likely to check it out? So let's tackle the first one. Artist or album you had someone hype you on that fell short of expectations.
I don't want to like shit on anybody because like
Yeah, that was my initial take, and then I thought of one that I felt was the band's big enough where it's a not for me.
Yeah,
And it's not even someone tipped me to them or is pushing them on me. It's the machine that's pushing it on me, and it's Sleep Token. It's just not for me. They're 7 million monthlies. They're talented. It sounds good, but I don't see myself sitting down and listening to it. And the rooms they're packing, it's surprising, good for them. But that's one that I would say the collective music machine has pushed on me that it just wasn't for me.
Yeah, and it's pushed on us in also the most divisive of fashions, right? Like with Taylor Swift, there is some divisiveness because of how big she is. With Sleep Token, I think part of what makes them so big is that the internet doesn't agree on them, right? You've got one half of the camp is like, why do you like this? And the other half is like, how do you not think this is the best thing in the existence of mankind? And there's no in between. Where I know for me anyway, kind of fall in between. Like there's things about it that I kind of like. There are things about it that I'm like, nah, not for me. And to the point where there's too much other stuff I'd rather listen to that I would agree with you about them not being for me overall. But I get why people like them, if that makes sense. Where the internet just wants you to tear each other apart. I mean, we dealt with it with their fans when we posted something about them 3 years ago. Yeah,
it got pretty heated, actually. Yeah, and they're talented. It sounds good. It's one. If we're talking about hype, overhype, they're overhyped for me. How about you, Nate?
Again, I kind of want to stay clean cut and not offend anyone either, because this has been a band, actually not a record, that's been pushed on me at multiple angles and stages through my nerdery legacy. And it's like and I hate to say this because it's gonna piss off a lot of people, any Muse record, I'm just like, I'm good, dude. Like every time. And everyone's like, no, but this is the one though. I'm like, yeah, still no. Four records after, no, dude, I'm sorry, it just doesn't work for me, and I don't know why. And I know they're fucking good, and I know like they could be the next Queen and all this stuff, and it's like great, but like you can't force it. If you don't like it, you don't like it, and it's too bad. And that's also a part hype thing too. It's like, when they first came out, they were playing state theater type venues, and now they play mega arenas with a huge light show, and everyone raves about their light show. It's like, well, is it the music you like, or is it the production?
Right.
You know? And so and I actually wrote as my note, funny you say the machine thing, I wrote, are you less likely to check it out? And I said, yes, but only if the machine is overhyping it as well. So it's like, dude, I'm getting hit at all angles. If you're hyping it and I'm getting an ad every 3 seconds, I'll check it out when I have time.
I love your follow, but I want to just address that real quick because that's a totally 2025 thing, right?
Yeah.
We didn't know maybe in 2002 that the machine was hyping stuff up to us that we were eating up. But now, having had the benefit of 15, 20, 25 years of music nerdery fandom, we know when the machine is forcing things on you. and you're
It's
like,
working overtime.
they're like, I'm good. I don't want that. Go away. Like, I can tell already I'm not going to be in. Can I pick a genre instead of a band?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't understand jam bands. I don't understand it.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't do anything for me. Like
Does it get hyped?
Oh my god! I mean, in certain corners it does, right? I mean,
It does.
it's
You're
not.
right.
It doesn't get pushed on you by the overarching machine, but there are a lot of people who ride for some crazy jam bands. Like Goose had a moment a couple years ago, and I'm not knocking them as a band. I'm just using them as an example. It's not for me. Like I did. People like turned into what they did with Sleep Token. They're like, we're gonna follow them for a month. Like,
yeah,
you don't have to go to work at any point. Like, I'm just so confused by this whole
How are you paying
culture.
for this?
Yeah, exactly. I can't go to 2 shows in a week. And you're going to a month of Goose shows or a month of Grateful Dead shows or a month of whatever,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Or Fish shows. I've never understood it. There's always been a band that's been massive in that scene, and it's never made any sense to me.
That just made me laugh, dude, so much. It's like, wait, this is a band where it's like no one has money, but you follow them on a world tour. So like,
It's
this doesn't compute.
Yeah. Who knows how? And more power to those people. I love music scenes. I love the intricacies of the different smaller genres, and that's one that seems to love each other, and I'm cool with it. But there's a little bit more drugs there than I'd like to be involved with myself. But at the same time, they seem like harmless and fun people. I just don't understand the music.
Yeah, I think probably for all of us, it's an attention deficit thing. It's like, I mean, great song, but I mean, it was definitely good to go like 7 minutes ago.
Can we be done here?
And in terms of like the crowd, like I love all people. I love all music. I've worked a bunch of jam band shows and all that stuff. And to that kind of joke that you mentioned earlier, or like what you were alluding to, it's like, how do you know if someone's into a jam band? It's, akin to like, how do you know if someone's a carnivore on a carnivore diet or vegan? Like they'll tell you.
They'll tell you.
I'm a jam band guy. I know, bro. I know. I see your shirt, hat, socks, everything.
Oh man, that's a great call.
CrossFit guy. You're definitely a CrossFit guy.
That's a great call.
No shade, just calling it how it is.
No, that's good. And I mean, we're not about any hate here, obviously, but I feel like we all know what we like, and those are the things we don't necessarily want or want the machine to overhype us on.
Second part of this question: do you feel that someone overhyping an album, band, or song in some cases makes you less likely to check it out? For me, it depends on the source. If it's an outlet that's trying to move units, I'm less likely to do it. If it's a trusted source like a friend, a podcast I listen to, something like that, 100%. Especially if they're persistent, like you got to check this out. Like if it's someone that knows my interest, then yeah, I'm going to check it out. If it's some Joe Schmo that's getting paid from one of the big outlets that's like, this is the best thing since sliced bread, then I can see through it,
Yeah. I think we all feel the same way about that. I would agree with you completely. All right, we ready for the next one? This one's also funny and can throw a little shade on folks, but Justin, from our good friend from the band Trawl, asks us, why do people like Evanescence? Which I just laughed out loud when I saw it.
It was from left field.
Yeah, it was. And I can try to answer it, even though I've never been a huge fan of the band. She can sing. Amy's got a great voice, like all-time voice. I think she sounds immaculate when she's doing what she does. They had some hits. They were pushed by the machine a little bit. Bring Me to Life is a good song, good to great song, I would say. I don't need to hear it ever again. Like, I'm okay with never hearing that song again, having heard it the 100,000 times that I've heard it in 20 plus years. But those would be the reasons that people like them, I think. She has a great voice, a presence, a good front person presence, and that's a big piece of why Evanescence is a big band. Or was. If they aren't anymore, I don't really know. I'm not sure where they're at nowadays, but...
That's a great answer, because I don't think I'm qualified to answer it. I think I've heard, Tony, you and I were going down the list, I think I've heard maybe 3 songs. But it is shocking. Like recently in the last few years, they did a co-headline with Korn, and that shocked me.
Yeah.
Just with the catalog that Korn has and the years and the reach. But that shows you, Evanescence, they put asses in the seats, my friend. People like them. Why? I don't know. They like what they hear, I guess, from Amy.
Yeah, I had similar notes. First bullet point, great voice. Like you said, she does have a great voice. You can't deny that. Throwing heavy music in there, time frame specific. Like they even had like the rap rock thing going on, which I think allegedly, what I read, Kerrang! Magazine spot
Drinks.
that Mike Shinoda was originally like the one that they had as a
Instead
hired
of
gun.
the dude from 12 Stones.
Yeah, as a hired gun. I think he turned it down. But yeah, Shinoda was like, I'm good. I'd have to confirm that. I will say though.
Yeah, this is all alleged. We're not sure.
Yeah, I will say though. One of the shows I worked out at West was a Seether show, and they were a theater band. But we put on a show for them at an arena that I worked at, and I really like that song "Broken."
Broken's a great song
with him and Amy. I feel like it's a timeless song. So I'm like, I can't knock him completely because I really like that song, and I really like the trade offs they do with the vocals on that track. So I can't personally knock it because of that single track, and I guess it is a Seether song, and they dated too. It makes sense. But I think the fact that she just has a good voice stands on its own. Was I a big fan too? No, I don't think I've ever even listened to that record ever.
Me either. Yep.
So yeah, again, where no shade. It is, people like what they like.
Oh yeah, and I have if you came to us, if you're in the comments later and you're like, I love Evanescence, you guys are idiots. Okay, cool. I appreciate that. I have no problem with that. I can see
tell
why
me some things
like
to check out.
Yeah.
I haven't. It's a blind spot. So
yeah.
Hesitancy on the Evanescence thing. Maybe we can all agree here. This is like a deep dive nerd kind of, again, light bulb moment. I think I was hesitant because it just seemed like it was like the ultimate record plant. Like, dude, like really with the 100%. Rap rock thing. And it's like, I don't see it. There was no come up with Evanescence. It was just like, boom, mainstream. It's like, they didn't even play a club that I know about. Like,
yeah. What? there was a lot of that then. But I mean, her talent is undeniable though. So at least there was, it's not like they put somebody out there that couldn't do it. Like she can sing.
I know, it just seemed very fast acceleration.
That was the time frame though, right? All the money in the industry. So, did either of you watch Nathan Fielder's The Rehearsal?
Mm-mm.
Well, if you did, listener land, the use of that song in the season 2 of that series is all time and made me laugh very many times over the course of that. So, and I would recommend it to you guys if you haven't watched it. It's an amazing season of television.
I will check it out.
Yeah,
and Nate, sidebar, you mentioned Seether.
Yep.
I am aware now
that everything's gonna be fine.
Banger.
Yeah.
Nice song.
God. Yeah. We actually, Twan and I met the other night. Twan and I met the other night to go over some stuff just pod-wise, and we were talking about Seether, and Rob and I were at a dive bar in Portland. This is 10, 12 years ago. And Sean was there. He was just at the dive bar.
Oh, wow.
Rob's like, that's Sean Seether. And I was like, really? We hung out with him for a little bit. Yep, it was awesome.
Were they playing? They must have been playing locally. This was
either
recent?
That. I don't think they were in town. I think he was in town, probably mastering, if I had to guess.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
He's got a really thick, he's got the South African accent, which is super unique.
Cool band, actually. Seether's a cool band. I'm glad that we end up talking about Seether out of nowhere with this.
I mean, I can't knock them. They're post-grunge.
Twice in a week.
They're post-grunge, riding the coattails of post-grunge, but, they did it well, so.
Yeah. All right. Number 9. 20, you got us?
Number 9 from Justin from Trawl again here. What do you think is a fair price for a big concert today? And what do you think is a reasonable cost for a local band show?
It's
a good question because I'm kind of tight when it comes to concert tickets. So my fair price might be lower than most. But Nate, where are you at?
I changed this multiple times just based on the reality of the situation that everything's expensive. I think everyone complains about it. Just everything's hyperinflated. So I originally wrote 45 and I'm like, okay, I'm old. I'm pulling an old man here. Like nothing's $45, dude. Like you can't even go to McDonald's for a family for $45. So I changed it to 65. I feel like, okay, face value before fees. If it's really a fair price for a big show, like that's kind of my top, and it's still unrealistic because I think if you really want to get into a big show, you're looking at more like 95. Actually, it seems like everything's over 100 now, which is insanity before fees. But if we're being realistic in terms of like, I always equate it to housing, like buying a house. Like what is a fair price for what you're getting without the bullshit? Like houses should still be in the $300,000 frame, but instead they're like 600,000. That's just the norm. So it should be 65 when really a ticket to a big show is 98, like
more 130.
130 after fees kind of thing. So it's just like, yeah, reasonable 65. In terms of local, again, I had to change it because I was in fantasy land, like, oh yeah, it should be like sub 20. Well, no, that's just not realistic. So I think 25 is doable, but I put a note in there. It depends on how many bands are on the bill. Because again, we've all worked shows and been in that industry. It's like, well, how many people are being paid? 25 just seems like a reasonable, like, you know, buying anything under $30. You're like, if it's worth it, that's good enough. So 25 is like local, is we'll call it 3 bands, headliner, support, opener. Like that seems fair. But there's just so many hands in the pie, it's hard to tell. But that was like kind of my non as much context as I gave, kind of easy.
It's a good
answer.
assessment though.
Yeah. I like both of where you landed. I do think that a fair price for, if you're going to an arena show and there's going to be lights and there's going to be maybe a really good support band and a decent or good opener, like up and coming opener, $150 is like the norm, right? Depending on where you want to sit, right? If you're going to be up in the nosebleeds, you're probably going to pay $70, $80. If you're going to sit down on the bottom in the floor or be near it, you might pay $2, $3, $4, depending on where you sit. And some concerts way more. Your housing analogy, Nate, which you are the king of the analogies, both the housing market and we're not going to go too deep into economics here, but both the housing market and the ticket market games are rigged, so they're going to be super expensive because of the riggedness of them, especially at the higher level, right? As far as local bands go, I kind of agree with you. $25, $30 is fair if it's 4 bands on the bill. I get you're trying to, put a couple bucks in everybody's pockets. Most bands at that level, in those time frames and playing those shows at the smaller venue, are trying to make a couple of bucks to keep, being able to make the next EP, right? That's what they're doing. They're not doing it for fame and fortune and to get huge. They hope a song takes off at some point so they can make a couple bucks on it. But playing those shows, getting out, meeting fans, having fun with it. I speaking for myself, that's how I would look at that. Just try to keep the lights on at the band.
Yeah, and that's a good backdrop because no one's getting rich off a $25 local gig. It's tough. A fair price for a theater show, $60, I think is fair. And then it goes up from, obviously, if it's sold out, you're going to pay more than that. I would say like a TD Bank, TD Garden, 20,000 arena type of thing. You're lucky to get in the door under 100. Lucky, and I think that's the new norm. If you're talking like a stadium, like Kendrick Lamar played, I'm sure to get in it was 200 plus fees. Is that fair? Probably not for me. I would say under 100 is fair. For a local gig, I think 25 you're gonna probably phase some people out. I think reasonable for a local show, 20 spot. Depends on the bands though. If it's all locals and it's at like Rumors or Mulligan's in Biddeford, $20. 25's that's maybe pushing it a little bit, but depends on the bill.
And that venue is kind of a no frills venue too, right? Whereas maybe you go to Portland House of Music and it's a little bit better sound system and a better stage set up. That might be a couple of dollars more because you're paying for that stuff too.
Oh, that's a great point. Actually, so if the venue is already making their quota or call it their overhead on their daytime 9 to 5 business, call it a pizza joint type thing. What was that one you guys went to, Brick and Hollow, to see Trawl guys, right? Like they already have, everything is already done. Not Brick and Hollow. What was that brewery? Can't remember.
Sacred Profane. Yeah.
Sacred Profane. Like they're good. So it's just extra money and, supporting a local scene, which is great. So there's not a whole lot of like overhead. Oh, we got to pay production. We got to pay to rent the space and the PA and all that stuff. It's just like, oh yeah, we're going to host a show. Call it $20. So that's a good point.
But I'm also willing to put my hand up that I may be out of touch. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
25 is the new 10. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, I've gone to a handful of Trawl shows that have been in that 17 to 25 range, and I never feel like I'm not making, like I'm happy that I paid for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like the show's usually good, the venue's usually pretty good. Like those guys do a great job. But other bands they pull in are usually fun. So I think 25 might be max-ish, 25, 30 at most, depending on what the band or the day is like. But yeah, that venue, that world, $30, $25 for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Good one. That's a good one. All right, wrapping up, we got a couple left. Justin also asks us, what was the funniest thing we've ever seen at a show?
I got one. And I've said this on the podcast. It was Guns Up last show at the Roller Kingdom in Hudson, Mass, 2007, February. A dildo was being thrown around.
Oh, wow.
It may or may not have hit me in the back. A dildo was being thrown around in the crowd. And if you were there, you know that I didn't make that up. That's for real. That could be the funniest. Like, that's up there.
If you were with Anthony when you got there, he was the one that brought it. So.
Oh, my God.
If you know,
I'm kidding.
you
I have no
know.
idea. I'm just making a
No.
joke.
Didn't bring it, but it was funny. Funny stuff.
That's amazing. I have one, and actually, I still live this whenever Nate calls me or texts me. The Fun show at the State Theater, like 11 years ago, maybe. It was Halloween, right? So Fun came out dressed as the characters from Friends, which was kind of funny. They played the Rembrandts' "I'll Be There for You" twice, which I don't think you need to hear it twice, but whatever. And then our good friend Rob, who's been on with us numerous times, was dressed as a Fraggle. And at one point, I took a photo of Nate and I, and one of us is wearing the Fraggle head, and that's my photo that comes up when Nate calls me. So,
no, dude, that's funny. That's exactly what I put is that, because I remember just laughing my ass off. It just seemed over the top funny. Like, obviously it was Halloween, so everyone's dressed up, but that in particular was like, dude, that's a fucking
we
great
weren't
outfit.
dressed up, although we did put the Fraggle head on. But yeah,
we were just dealing with some guy that wanted to fight the whole time. Like, dude,
that guy, he was
show.
hammered. That was the one down. That show was awesome. They sounded great, good time. But that idiot in front of us who was hammered, that kept backing into us. And I remember it because it was so annoying, even though it was 11 years ago.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I don't know what to tell you. I've never fought anyone, so I'm not gonna fight you. This is so dumb. And we're at the show is called Fun. You're a moron.
That was a show I was at, but not with you guys. That was a good show.
I was wearing the Fraggle head. I just found the photo. So.
Bring Fun back.
I miss Fun. Yeah.
Make
fun
concerts
period.
fun again.
Fun dot period.
Fun dot period. Yeah, bring back Fun dot period. Later on after that show, Rob and I went out and got a beer somewhere, and he wore the full Fraggle costume for the rest of the evening.
Nice.
So, and people loved it, and they were like, awesome costume, bro. And if you're not, if you're under 37, probably have no idea what I'm talking about. But Fraggle Rock was a Muppets-esque TV show. I think it was Jim Henson that was on when we were kids. So go check that out.
Check it out and buy a costume and wear it to the next gig you go to. That you spent $100 on.
He was dressed as Gobo, if you were wondering. All right, last one on the list here, proper.
This one here is from Devin. Shout out Devin. The better supergroup, Temple of the Dog or Mad Season? Show your work. I love it.
I get a quick and easy answer for you. 2 vocalists versus 1. I got to go with Temple of the Dog.
Temple of the Dog is my answer, and that's I have no work to show. That's just who I've spent any time with. Mad Season, I have spent no time. So if you're a Mad Season truther, my apologies. I have not spent enough time. Same thing with Evanescence. If you want to show some work, throw some songs at me. Throw some Mad Season songs at me. 2
is greater than 1. That's the work that I'm showing. Nate, I'm going to clear the lane for you because I'm sure you have more on this, being the grunge head that you are.
Yeah, we're 3 for 3. Obviously massive Pearl Jam fan, so Eddie Vedder on Temple of the Dog is instrumental. Cornell being my favorite vocalist of all time, so that obviously holds a lot of weight. But again, Lane Staley, probably my top 4 favorite vocalists of all time, and has Mike McCready of Pearl Jam. So there's a lot of toss up there, and I've spent a ton of time with both these records, but I've spent more time with Temple of the Dog, and it's a pretty deep record because it has to do with someone's death. So like Cornell's lyrics and the musicianship on that record in particular is pretty strong. Not to say that the Temple of the Dog, the Mad Season record isn't. It's a different playing field, to say it somewhat politically correct. But I mean, River of Deceit, kind of the title track from Mad Season, is fucking amazing. Like it gives you those kind of Alice in Chains chills. But then again, that's just Lane Staley in a capsule. But I would go Temple of the Dog all day on this.
All right,
I'll throw something. Better band name. It's Mad Season.
Agreed.
Yeah, Mad Season's a great name.
I would agree with that. Yeah, Bandicap versus Band Vantage. Yep.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, so I think Nate did a very good job of showing his work there. So hopefully that was enough for you, Dev. We appreciate the question. Can I throw one last thing at you guys before we wrap?
Throw it, toss it. Let's go.
So we talked about Year Zero early on. What the question that I was going to ask you guys was: have there been music or creative things that musicians were doing that have been long rumored and never put out? Think the Radiohead-esque Slipknot album that every year at the end of the year they're like, oh, it's coming out next year. Oh, it's coming out next year, just because they've got nothing to talk about. Do you have any of those that like come to mind immediately? Because I have one, and it's year zero related. I can give it while you guys think if you'd like.
I guess I'm trying to understand your question. It's what has been hyped but hasn't been dropped and rumored.
Like Tapeworm, right? Like Tapeworm was hyped and rumored forever and never happened, right?
Okay. Yeah.
The Slipknot record that they keep telling us is done, but they have never put out the Radiohead sounding one, right? The look at the window or whatever.
I got one.
I'll give you mine. Year zero was supposed to be in talks to be a show, like a limited series on HBO with Reznor kind of at the helm. And how cool would that record have turned into a world? Like, I would have loved to have seen that, like, come to fruition. A 6-episode run, 8-episode run, cool actors in it. HBO always, at that time especially, was kind of the gold standard as far as television went. There's a lot of places that do it well now, but back in 2007, that was HBO, right? So that would have been the place to do it. And I really would have loved to have seen that turn from record into television show with the, Reznor kind of behind the scenes on it a little bit.
I forgot all about that. Yeah, there was a lot of cool articles on what was supposed to happen with that. I remember. Yeah, it's been a while, but
so we know for sure it does not exist, or
it just. I don't think it ever happened. I think it was maybe in development. I don't know if somebody owns it, if he owns it and is just waiting to do it at some point down the line. I have no idea, but it's not. It never happened.
It's a good one. The one that immediately came to mind was Deftones, the Eros album.
Oh yeah, yep.
I think it was like 11 or 12 songs. I think you can hear some stripped down versions somewhere online, but it's one of those things. It's like 11 or 12 songs. You immediately think like complete songs, but no, they could have been just ideas and working things and all this. So I don't know if it'll ever come out. I feel like it's probably further from completion than most people think. Let me think about it. If something was on the shelf ready to go,
we'd heard
probably would have come out by now. But I think it's one of those like Deftones lore things that I think they're gonna wait for the right time to do something with it, or it'll never see the time of day.
Wow.
You got one?
There was like some agreement in the parentheses, like can't say Rage Against the Machine. So mine's not Rage. But since we're all massive Rage Against the Machine fans, there was just so much, I guess, like you said, Deftones lore. Like, it was so hard to understand where the hell Zach was, De La Rocha from Rage, in the little, like, hiatus from Rage Against the Machine. Like, one day, As a Lion came out in 07. Between, like, 2000 and 07, he was, like, a ghost. But there was interviews with Trent Reznor. There was interviews with DJ Shadow. There was interviews with one of the guys from Run the Jewels. What's his name? LP. He's like, oh, yeah, she's working on shit. Like, I would go on YouTube and deep dive like every part of the internet to try to figure out like what the fuck is this guy up to, because everyone says he's got something ready to roll and it's deep and it's heavy, and Trent Reznor's like, yep, I did 7 tracks with him, they're all 10 out of 10, he should put them out, but it's on him. Like everyone's like hyping like he's still the master, and it just doesn't come out. And then Audioslave breaks up and Zach's like, okay, I'm gonna drop, what is it, Searching for Windows or something like that, like one track, a Zach De La Rocha like solo track. Like, no, I'm definitely gonna put it out. Like, here's one song, Digging for Windows, I think it's called. Fucking killer track. I'm like, you're right, LP. Like, it is sick. Let's hear the rest of it. Nothing. Nothing. It's just shelved forever. Like, I know he's a perfectionist. He's clearly has really insane creative artistic control to not have someone force him to put it out, which is true to the brand. I mean, I don't know how Zach does it. He must have a really good manager, but there's just so much lore with that guy. And interestingly enough, I think we talk about it. We've sent things in our group text. It's like he was able to keep a low profile in Los Angeles, paparazzi, everything forever. And now lately, he's just all over the place with one of the photographers, Ali Ba, his good homie, I guess. I follow him, so I see Zach like every day. He's partying with people. It's like, what? This guy went from like hiding in a fucking dark shadow to like now he's going to LA soccer games and like partying, like drinking beers, and you're like, oh, you're a normal human. Like, cool. Where's that record though, man? Like everyone said it was dope.
Where is it?
I want it. I want it now.
So I know it's done. I mean, all those names that I just dropped, like they worked with him on the record. So it was like a very concerted effort. Like, yeah, I'm done with Rage, but I'm putting out a solo shit. It's gonna be dope. And I think the one quote, just to wrap this up, is Zach saying, I want to do it, I want to drop it, but it sounds too much like Rage Against the Machine. Everyone's like, well, dude, yeah, because you're Zach.
That's what people want. I mean, that's what they want.
Yeah. So anyways.
That would have been a great one. Yeah, I like that. That's a good one to end on, because that one you didn't have to say no Rage, so I'm glad you, and it was adjacent, right? So that works.
Adjacent, yeah.
Well, cool. All right, we're gonna wrap it there, and we thank you for checking us out. We thank everybody for submitting the questions. We had a blast talking nerdery as we always do. This is what we do weekly. For 200 and whatever, almost 300 episodes, we give you one once a week with nerdery.
See you next week. Thanks for coming. See you next week and the week after. Peace.
Peace, drones.
Peace, podheads.
Oh, something like that.
What are we gonna call them now? Yeah, no, we're sticking with podheads. Peace, podheads.
Nah. Cool.
Thank you for listening to Podioslave. We are at Podioslave on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all over the places that you can find us on social media. Facebook, Podioslave Podcast. YouTube, Podioslave Podcast there. Email us at podioslavepodcast@gmail.com. And hey, if you want to become a supporter, click on the link at the bottom of the episode and give us $1, give us $5. It keeps the lights on, keeps us going. We really appreciate that stuff. Thank you.